of mindful living. We truly appreciate your taking out the time and joining us this Saturday evening. I promise you that this investment of time will definitely be worth your while. Is it okay if we begin by asking a question? Please type Y in the chat if it is okay for me to ask you a question. Friends, please, thank you. Let's look at few more responses. Friends, is it okay for? Thank you, Mitu. Can I have responses from more people? Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Mohan. So friends, the question I would like to ask you is, how many of you would like to improve your quality of life? If you would like to improve your quality of life, please type me in the chat box. Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Mohan. Thank you, Metu. Friends, I need response from everyone. If you want to improve your quality of life, please type me. Thank you, Neeraj. Friends, moving on. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you, Vivek. Now, moving on to my next question. What, according to you, determines the quality of our life? There are no right or wrong answers. Just share with us what, according to you, determines the quality of our life. Good health. Thank you so much, Dinesh. Fitness. Okay. Positivity and mindset, health and happiness. Very good. Very good. Happiness, stress management. Very good, Mohan. Thank you, Praveen. Friends, I see responses only from a few people coming in. I'll request everybody to be active on the chat. Friends, while what you have shared is all right, disease-free, thank you. I would like to share with you what I learned from my yoga teacher about two factors which determine the quality of our health. He used to say, quality of our life. He used to say that, Pehla sukh nirogi kaya, Duja sukh ghar mein ho maya. What he meant to say was, health, good health is the foundation of our happiness. And what better occasion to dedicate ourselves to improving our health and those of around us than the World Health Day, which falls on 7th of April. World Health Day is a good occasion for us to dedicate ourselves to improving our health outcomes. And all our sessions in the month of April are dedicated to creating awareness about improving the quality of our health. Starting with our session today. Our speaker today is a brave heart. He is a 1990 batch NDA officer from the infantry. He has taken part in active operations across line of control and counter-insurgency operations in Jammu and Kashmir. He was on deputation as a Black Cat commando and was also a part of the Mumbai operations on 26/11. He has served at the world's highest battlefield at Siachen and also led his troops along the line of actual control in Ladakh. Unfortunately, in 2013, he suffered a spinal injury, and soon after, he developed diabetes. And along with that came a couple of other ailments like hypertension, dyslipidemia, hypothyroidism, and obesity. Colonel Gautam Guha fought back valiantly and reversed his entire condition by making modifications to his diet and lifestyle. In 2018, he completely got off his medications, and in the process, he lost about 37 kgs weight. His story was so inspirational that it was featured by ADGPI on its official social media page. Once his story was shared, thousands of people started reaching out to Colonel Gautam Guha to seek his advice on how to reverse these chronic conditions that many people battle from. Today, Colonel Gautam Guha selflessly helps people reverse their chronic diseases and improve their health conditions. He has a wide following on social media. His YouTube channel alone has over 27,000 followers. Colonel Gautam Guha, we are truly honored to have you with us as a speaker today. Welcome to the session.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Gautam. Friends, many of you are joining us for the first time. If you're joining a mindful living session for the first time, please type FT in the chat box. Thank you, Ravinder. Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you, friends. I'll take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Ashish Kumar, and I'm the founder of Mindful Living. I started Mindful Living in 2018 with a mission to help 1 million working professionals lead healthier, happier, and wealthier lives. Prior to starting Mindful Living, I worked in the corporate sector for over 25 years in senior management roles with organizations like Tata AIG, Future Generali, Marsh India, HCL Healthcare, and Healthcare at Home. During the years of my working in the corporate sector, I saw at close quarters how stressed the employees are in the corporate sector and how this stress is taking a toll on their health, happiness, and well-being. Being a mindfulness practitioner myself, I thought the message of living consciously needs to be taken to the corporate sector. And in the last 5 years, we have conducted over 300 sessions for leading organizations in India, which include Aditya Birla Group, Tata Group, Kotak Life, HDFC Life, IBM, EXL, Airbnb, Schneider, Signify, and many others. This session today is being organized as a part of our Mindful Living community, which started in April 2020 during the first lockdown. Few of my friends reached out to me and requested me to conduct sessions for them to help them deal with the stress that the lockdown was causing. So over a weekend, I conducted a mindfulness session for a few of my friends. The word spread, and over the last 3 years, our community has grown to be over 3,000 people. We connect every weekend to discuss and practice aspects of living mindfully. I'll request everybody to mute themselves if you're not speaking. To live mindfully. Just give me a minute. This is a community which is a very safe place for you to learn and share about living mindfully. And rather than me speak about the community, I'll request Anjana, who is a senior member of the community, to come and share with us her experiences of being a part of the Mindful Living community.
Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah.
Good evening, friends. I'm Anjana, and Ashish has already set the context saying that I'm a senior member of the Mindful Living community. So just, a 10-second brief about myself. I work with the financial sector in the senior management of Kotak Life Insurance, and I'm based in Bangalore. I'm more in a sales and strategy role. So there's a lot of traveling, a lot of meeting people. And I've known Ashish for a long time, from the time he was in the corporate world. And when he started the Mindful Living community during the COVID times, first 2-3 sessions, it was out of pure curiosity and because it was a subject that I liked. And I wanted to know more about that. I became a part of the community. But as time grew, this has become, I would say, a very safe space and a secure place for me to go to. There is nobody who is actually looking at you or evaluating you. You don't have to put on a facade. You're not worried about who's going to say what. All the people in the community that I've met, all the sessions or all the talks that we've had, the interactions with all of the people who have been a part of this community, of the Saturday sessions, of various workshops, they've all been very open, non-judgmental, and very supportive. This is one space where you can get a very neutral advice. And they're not looking at who is this person, what do they do. There is no self-interest when they're actually sharing their thoughts, their learnings, and their views, and their support for you. So I would, say that this is a space where anybody and everybody can come for guidance, for some meaningful information, which is very neutral. And there is nobody who forces you to take somebody else's opinion. It is up to you that you derive what goodness that you want from this community. And it's a very warm space, a very safe space. I would urge that people experience this. And if anybody has any thoughts, any support that they require, just place it out there. Whoever has the ability to help, I've seen them coming forward and selflessly giving support to people. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you.
And
Thank
over
you.
to you, COL GUHA.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Anjana. So friends, you've heard from Anjana what this community is about. So if you would like to be a part of our community and benefit from the awesome sessions that we conduct every weekend, please click on the link that we have shared in the chat and join our community. Few housekeeping rules. Please keep your cameras on during the session and use the reactions button to share appreciation for anything that Colonel Gautam shares. You could clap, show love, or show thumbs up. And if you have a question to ask, raise your hand. So the flow of the session is that Colonel Gautam Guha is going to speak for about 30 minutes. Then we will open up the session for discussions and subsequently for question and answers. We will also be seeking your feedback towards the end of the session. So we look forward to receiving your feedback. Use the raise hands button. Look at the reactions, use raise hands button if you would like to share something with all of us. So on that note, Colonel Gautam Guha, welcome to the session. And over to you.
Thank you, Ashish. As you and Anjana were speaking, I was seeing a number of messages on my mobile. Not many, but I think 5, 6, 7 people are not able to join.
Okay.
So I've shared them the passcode and all that. So I hope they're able to join now. I can see approximately 50 participants already joined.
Correct.
I also presume that I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, Colonel Gautam.
And at the outset, let me thank Ashish and Mindful Living for getting me for the second time. I have spoken earlier also on this platform. Incidentally, I have joined Mindful Living community today. And this was my long desire. I wanted to join probably after my retirement, which is 2 years hence. But then I have just joined today, and I am sure I'll be able to make some meaningful contribution. A bit of it which Anjana was mentioning. Already 15 minutes have passed since 5 o'clock, so I will be speaking a bit fast. And I know I'm short of time. I'm always short of time because I don't know. Maybe that's my habit. I want to say and communicate so many things and sort of sometimes get restless. So please bear with me. Please hold on to all your doubts towards the end, because we are going to have a exhaustive Q&A session, and the topic is such where I expect that it will be more of an interactive session with all of you who are joining. मेरी हिंदी ठीक ठाक है, मैं हिंदी में भी बोल सकता हूँ, मेरे YouTube के अंदर अधिकतर वीडियोस हिंदी में हैं, पर आज मैं जानबूझकर थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश में बोलूँगा, because there are a few friends from the friendly country of Bhutan who have joined, who don't understand Hindi, and they had texted me that, sir, please speak in English. I don't know how many of them have joined, but I'll be predominantly speaking in English. Broadly, the session today is going to be 20 to 25 minutes of my presentation. And presentation is just to draw your attention, and get your mind focused on the topic. Also, the visual representation in a PowerPoint presentation gets your mind thinking in a particular direction. After about 25 minutes or 20 minutes maybe, I will be speaking to you like this, one-to-one, after which I will request Ashish for some feedbacks. And then I will take on the Q&A. So that will be the broad plan for today. Now, I have spoken before also. There are a number of people who have joined who are from my health group. There are a few who have heard me before, and there are quite a few who are probably hearing from me for the first time. What Ashish spoke about me is all thank you. But I guess any army officer would have all these to speak about. I was fortunate to have all those tenures in my career spanning 30 years, 3 decades. But more importantly, what I have done post 2018 is what gets me here talking to all of you. And that is specific to reversal of lifestyle ailments. I feel someone's mic is on, so I'll request just to please mute your mic. Thank you. So what gets me here is, what has happened in my life since 2018. And it's a community which has grown, a community which started with just reversal of obesity, because everyone told me that if you lose weight, half of your battle is won. And as I interact and I see things and I listen to things, I find that this mindset is still not changed. People think that if you are not obese, you are very, very healthy. Obesity is an issue, but obesity or having excess body fat is not the only aspect of good health. Unfortunately, what people don't realize, and I didn't realize in 2017, is that I have become obese because my health was not good. So the moment you start addressing your health issues, things will fall in place. I have a very standard and a pet dialogue of mine that you don't have a fitness minister in any country, in any organization, but you have a health minister, because health is more important than fitness. Fitness will automatically fall in place once your health is good. So what I say is that if you are so determined to run an Ironman or do a 40-kilometer run or a marathon or a half marathon or whatever, you must also have the determination to get off that morning pill that you take every morning, be it for high blood pressure or diabetes or thyroid or whatever. And I, having done all that, I realized that this is doable, number one. Number two, it is not very, very difficult. It needs the right approach, in the right direction. One has to be focused. And when people started approaching me, who were around me, when I started my journey in Trivandrum, the community grew to what it is today. Okay. So with that as a backdrop, I will start my presentation, and I hope I make it interesting. Please give your honest feedback so that next time when I... Just give me a moment, please. Yeah. So is my screen visible? Yeah, okay, fine. So we'll come to today's topic, reversing diabetes. And as I said, an interactive session with me. Now, reversing diabetes is very, very easy. And today's talk I shall cover in the following heads. Part 1, I shall cover the drinks. Part 2, the fruits. And in part 3, I will specifically cover as to how you can reverse diabetes by eating mangoes. Sounds logical? I think most of you have made your mind that it is absolutely stupid. And this is not the way to go about reversing diabetes. Well, it is my good luck or bad luck that I was called on 1st of April to deliver this talk. And so a happy Fool's Day to all of you. See, these type of articles, YouTube videos are all available on the net. You eat 1 kg of mango or you eat a dozen of bananas and you cure your diabetes. I have just quoted a screenshot from Google. I've got no offense against Dr. Biswarup Roy Chaudhary, but then results matter. I have not seen anyone who has eaten fruits for 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, whatever kgs, and reversed his sugars or glucose levels. And you will realize that, these are all fake, be it the claims to cure diabetes with fruits, and these are absolutely nonsense. So let me come back to the topic. I will start with the example of a car moving from Delhi to Agra. Now, this car moves from Delhi to Agra in about 4 hours' time at a steady speed of 60 km per hour. And things seem quite okay. Now, when you look it from a diabetes perspective, you could be having a decent HbA1c. And how decent, or what is the decency of a glycation of your hemoglobin? We will discuss that later on in the talk today. You could be having, again, a decent fasting blood glucose or a postprandial blood sugar, which again is, differently viewed and differently perceived person to person. But these are just mere good indicators. These are very important. I'm not saying HbA1c is not important. But the moment you speak to a diabetic, the first thing he says, my HbA1c is this and my glucose level is this. So am I good or am I bad? And that is where my problem starts. And that is where I was in a problem since 2014, 15, 16, 17, when I was not able to reverse my diabetes. Because I was also looking at just the HbA1c and the fasting blood glucose and the postprandial sugars. These will not give you the complete picture. And that is where we as community, we as at the user end, we as the people who are suffering, we are not able to reverse a symptom. आपके खून में सिर्फ ग्लूकोज का लेवल बढ़ा है. Blood pressure is a symptom. आपके arterial walls में pressure बढ़ गया है. That's it. You have to do something to get that pressure normal. You have to do something to get the glucose levels normal. And we are not doing it. So these may not give the complete picture. And maybe the complete picture is better understood with this example, wherein your so-called HbA1c or glucose levels, etc., is all under a state of being managed. Because diabetes management is what we have all heard. I will not use the word business, and I don't want to sound rude at all. But it could be. I'll request somebody to please switch, mute the mic, please. Yeah. You could be on medicines, you could be on insulin, you could be on various types of medicines, medicines which affect your gut, medicines which affect your pancreas, medicines which push the excess glucose of your blood out through the kidneys, in your urine. And there could be so many situations of insulin, acting. I will request someone's mic, which is on, kindly muted. Okay. So we need to understand that if we have to sort out this vehicle, अगर हमने इस गाड़ी को अपने जिंदगी से हटाना है, which is the medicines, the insulin, the support system, then we need to repair and maintain this car, which is our own body. Simple and straight. The moment this car is repaired, and after you have repaired the car, you need to maintain it also. So the moment the car is repaired and maintained, the need for medicines, insulin, the support system, etc., will all go. And how do you repair and maintain is something which I call the punch of 5 fingers. And 5 fingers is basically, application of lifestyle, be it your diet, be it your workout and exercise, be it your stress management, be it managing your vitamin levels, especially vitamin D, or be it a process of fasting. People have used intermittent fasting, keto diet, and all these fad words, but I look at fasting a little differently. So the moment you apply all these things in your lifestyle and you apply the punch cohesively, और आप मुक्का मारते पांचों उंगलियों का, so then you are working towards not only the repair but the maintenance of your car. And this punch or 5 fingers I have covered in one of my videos. If you go to my YouTube channel, all my videos are numbered. So this I think is video number 28, how to give the right punch. So when you see this video, you will understand what I'm talking about. And the moment you are able to repair and maintain, or use the punch correctly and in the right direction, you will be able to get rid of this vehicle which is carrying you. And that I have covered in spite of not being a doctor, with whatever studies I've done and I've understood. I have got my video vetted through doctors, by the way, and you will find in the comment section number of doctors from various renowned hospitals commenting on it. So I have given out a method as to how one should go about reducing medicines. Ultimately, when you are reducing, you will come to zero. So how you reduce your medicines, insulin, etc. in your diabetes reversal journey is what I have covered in this particular video. So once you do that, you are able to get rid of this ये जो गाड़ी है, जो गाड़ी के ऊपर आपका कार बैठा हुआ है. And the moment your car is repaired or anybody's vehicle is repaired, what is the next thing that you do? What you do is that you want to get your vehicle tested, isn't it? After it is repaired. So you take it for an on-road test drive. In your case, when you have left your last medicine, when you have left the insulin or whatever you are dependent on to manage your sugar levels and diabetes in a gradual manner, that is the time when you get into a test drive mode or your on-road test, which I've covered in my video as the stabilization period and the consolidation. So you will have to stabilize and you will have to consolidate. And while I say this, there are many people in my group who are in the reversal phase. So they are still applying the punch and they are applying it very, very hard. Some of them are moderate. Some of them are just about okay. They are at various stages of leaving their medicines. Many in my group have reached the stabilization period wherein they are now running their vehicle for a test drive on road. There are people who have done that and now they are consolidating. And then there are people like me who think that they have stabilized and consolidated. The sugar levels are fine and they are now trying to maintain a healthy life, maintain a diabetes-free life. What I call as having reversed your condition. So when you look at repair and maintenance of any vehicle, गाड़ी के अंदर सिर्फ एक कारण नहीं होता गाड़ी नहीं चलने का. There could be many reasons as to why your vehicle is not running. There could be issues with your engine, battery, suspension, tires, exhaust, whatever. And when you look at this example with a diabetic perspective, there could be issues like your pancreas. Your beta cell functionality is very poor. Your pancreas has got inflammation. आपके pancreas के अंदर कोई issue है, it is not healthy. And similarly, there could be many, many reasons for your diabetic condition. So it is not as simple that you just blame it on कि कल रात को मैंने ये खा लिया या पिछले 1 महीने से मैं ये खा रही हूं या कल मैं वॉकिंग पे नहीं गई या मेरा HbA1c यहाँ पे है. It could be that your HbA1c has come down, but your gut is still not healed. There are issues with your gut. It could be that the uptake of glucose from circulation is very poor in your kidneys. It could be that your liver is not able to store glycogen properly. And there could be other issues as I've explained. So when you address all these issues in your diabetes reversal journey and you apply the punch to heal each and every part, to address each and every part of your gadi, when you're trying to repair the gadi, that is when you are working towards something called as insulin sensitivity. The moment So insulin sensitivity is not just one parameter that my glucose level is 90. My HbA1c is 6.4, so I've reversed my diabetes. No. All the functions of your gut, your kidney, your liver, your glucose, GLUT4s are glucose transporters in the body. There are many glucose transporters, but GLUT4, they carry the glucose to your skeletal muscles. So once your glucose transporters are working, your cells are, cell receptors are good, your pancreas is absolutely good, it is working at 100% efficiency. Obviously, you are at a stage where you are insulin sensitive, and that is the time when your vehicle will not only reach Agra in 4 hours, it will probably reach Agra in 3 hours. It will not run at 60, it can even run at 80. So your condition will get better. Okay, before I continue, I'll just touch upon remission and reversal, because I find this particular issue coming up at many platforms. So there are medical professionals who, with their understanding, they have a point of view that cancer is in a state of remission. So as per them, युवराज का जो cancer है वो अभी remission के stage में है. It can reappear anytime. And similarly, they want us to believe that diabetes is in a state of remission. And then there are examples given by leading diabetologists where they have said that, okay, Gautam Guha had a diabetes of this much insulin resistance he had in his body, and he was on this medicine, so only he can reverse. But somebody who's on insulin or who's on severe medications, he or she cannot reverse. And I don't agree to it, because the information that a particular diabetologist has gone, and in this case, I'm giving an example of, say, Dr. Mohan, and you can see his video. I don't agree, because I have got exactly the opposite examples in my group. Somebody like the Vice Chancellor of Graphic Era University in Dehradun is not a fictional character. वो जीते जागते बंदे हैं. He is there. He is the VC of the university. He was on insulin and 100+ units of insulin, सब मिला के. And today he is on zero insulin. Not today, for the last 2.5-3 years. He doesn't take any diabetes medicines. So I don't agree. So coming back to the word remission, it is, the example, or sorry, the meaning of remission, we all understand. But I am saying that if diabetes is in a state of remission, so be it. I've got no problem. I'm ready to accept that my diabetes is in a state of remission. I want everyone's diabetes to get cured and be in a state of remission. But I want to ask a question, that when you have COVID, or when you have a cough and cold, and you cure yourself, are you also in a state of remission? Do we say that मेरे को COVID हुआ था 2 साल पहले, अभी मैं remission में हूँ? No. We just say I had COVID and now I am cured. You say that I had cough and cold. That's it. Now I don't have. So I had diabetes in 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, but Gautam Guha does not have diabetes since 2018. That's it. Okay. So diabetes type 2 is 100% reversible. Please get this burden off your life. You don't have to live with this disease, or so-called disease, because I call it a condition, throughout your life. And if you don't want to use the word reversible, it's okay. That's not a very big issue. एक word के पीछे हमने पीछे नहीं पड़ना है. You can also say that I'm in a state of remission lifelong, and I'm absolutely okay with it. Yes, I do agree that when it comes to diabetes type 1, in which case the pancreas is not functioning, and it cannot, the beta cells, they cannot make insulin, there is an issue. Similarly, there is something called type 1.5 diabetes, or LADA. It is basically an autoimmune condition in adults. It doesn't happen with children. Type 1 diabetes happens when you are very small. So you will find children with type 1 diabetes who are insulin dependent. So they take exogenous insulin from outside, and then there are issues. And type 1.5 is wherein your condition is getting bad. And in both these conditions, which is highlighted in yellow color, which is not type 2 diabetes, I have people interacting with me from type 1 and type 1.5 also. I tell them only one thing, that fine, your pancreas is not working, or your pancreas functionality has gone down, but you can at least manage your diabetes better. You cannot be on 6 units of insulin at the age of 3, your child, and when your child is 18, that child is taking 40 units of insulin or 80 units of insulin. So I have helped people with type 1 to manage their insulin better. the exogenous insulin, by addressing all the parts of the gadi that I showed you in the slide. I mean, you have to look at your gut health, your liver health, your kidney health, etc., to improve your condition of type 1 and type 1.5 LADA also, which is latent autoimmune diabetes. Okay. We spoke about insulin resistance, when the parts are not working. I have got one video. It's a little lengthy one, I think 25 minutes video on insulin resistance, where I've tried to explain what is insulin resistance. And I also have two videos because, how to make your body insulin sensitive, one has to understand and then apply. So I have got two videos on my YouTube channel on how to make our body insulin sensitive. So those who are interested, they can look into these videos and they will get a better perspective, because here the time is short. Now, if you look at the thumbnails of all these three YouTube videos, you will find upar wale mein, of course, there is a obese cartoon, but on the right, there is a couple, holding a hand, newly married couple. There is a reason behind it. If you look down below insulin sensitivity, you will find there is a guy holding an alcohol bottle. There is a reason behind it. And these are basically, I have used as examples to drive home the point of insulin resistance and how to make your body insulin sensitive. So once you have decided that, okay, fine, enough is enough, I am going to reverse my diabetes, period. So if I am insulin resistant today, from the red dot, I need to get to the blue dot. And when you are trying to get from the red dot and climb, make your health better and climb to the blue dot, there will be, various issues. But the first step that you must do is a correct damage assessment. And this is something very normal, that before you undertake a work, you need to know what is the present condition. So you must know that. I find a lot of diabetics, who contact me are unaware of their damage in the body. उनको सिर्फ ये लगता है कि मेरी गाड़ी नहीं चल रही है और मेरे गाड़ी का हेडलाइट खराब. It's not that. So it's not just about your glucose levels being at 240. It is not that, sir, my HbA1c is at 9 and 10 for last 3 months or whatever. You have to look beyond just the sugar and the glucose. So the damage assessment is important. And once you have done that and you apply yourself and you climb the stairs into insulin sensitivity, at every stage, you would be gradually unloading, or reducing the medicines and insulin on which you are dependent, as I explained to you before. But at whatever stage you are, you will reach a stage when your last medicine you would have left, that green dot. Now, be it the red dot where you have done the damage assessment, throughout your journey, you will have to do periodic assessment and monitoring. In fact, I talk also about daily monitoring in this stage also. And later on, when you are insulin sensitive, that is the time when also your periodic assessment will happen. Now, periodic assessment could be once in a quarter, once in 6 months, once in a year, depending on your age, your condition, how bad, how good you were, how are the symptoms, etc. In my case, I do. I'm still serving, so I have my annual medicals, but I do my periodic assessment every 4 months or every 6 months. Okay, at this stage. Okay. Now, coming to the damage assessment. Now, wherever you are and you want to start your reversal journey, you have to look into this video of mine, which is on knowing how bad you are. So if you want to know that where you stand as far as your insulin resistance is concerned, you have to see this video on my channel. It speaks about HbA1c, which is glycated blood hemoglobin. And then I talk about fasting insulin or insulin in your blood at a fasted state. And I also talk about triglyceride and HDL ratio. Hemoglobin, you all know that it is made in the bone marrow. It carries oxygen from lungs to all the tissues. That is the job of hemoglobin. So, कईयों का तो hemoglobin ही कम होता है. HbA1c का reading ही सही नहीं आता है. So, उसी hemoglobin में जब sugar आके चिपक जाता है, when there is a glycation in the hemoglobin, then you measure something called HbA1c. And a lot of people will tell you HbA1c is 3 months average. It is 3 months average because the hemoglobin in your blood changes every 3 months, just like the bone. Our bone configuration is changing every moment. Right now, also as we are talking and listening, the bone configuration is changing in our body. Similarly, right now as we are talking, there are certain hemoglobins which are fading away, and there is a renewal of hemoglobin. So this renewal process of hemoglobin takes approximately 8 to 12 weeks. And that is why when you do a HbA1c test or a जिसको हम बोलते हैं glycated blood hemoglobin, it gives an average of about 8 to 10 weeks or approximately 2.5 to 3 months. Insulin is important because you cannot be in a state of hyperinsulinemia, or to explain you, let me put it in this manner, that there are 3-4 CCTV cameras in a classroom. And the feed of that CCTV camera goes to the principal's room. Now, a parent walks in and the principal boasts that my school is very good, that students are very, very disciplined. Now, this is factually a correct statement, because when you look at the classroom, you will find that the children are seated nicely, nobody is misbehaving, everything is hunky-dory, very good. But the fact remains that this may not be the complete and the true picture. There could be some badmash bachche, there could be some rowdy elements who are right now behaving because there are 4 CCTV cameras in the classroom. So while you are factually correct, technically correct, but there is a hidden story, and that is what insulin does to your body. You could be having a fasting sugar of 99, और आजकल इन्होंने नया मापदंड लगा दिया है कि 100 के नीचे everything is good, which is not correct. Your sugar level should be less than 90 fasting sugars. But suppose your fasting sugar is 89, there is nothing to rejoice. If your insulin levels are very high, that is, the CCTV cameras are very high. So you cannot have too many CCTV cameras on your body trying to regulate the insulin, trying to regulate the glucose, and you feeling very happy that my glucose is very good. So I'm not diabetic. But you could be at a stage of too many CCTV cameras till the time one odd bachcha still does badmashi. वो बच्चा 2 घंटे चुपचाप बैठा, he was quiet in the class, then he says enough is enough, CCTV camera ho cha na ho, let me do some badmashi. And then you reach a stage called pre-diabetes. And then we boast about, oh, I'm quite okay, but I'm a little pre-diabetic. No, my dear sir, you are not pre-diabetic. There's a lot of things going wrong in your classroom. And then from pre-diabetes to diabetes till the time your insulin is also mucking up. That means the CCTV cameras have got no value. The children are also doing badmashi. और सब एक दूसरे को मार रहे हैं, CCTV कैमरा में
2 मिनट सर से एक बार बात करूंगा.
And then ये please mute कर लीजिए, किसी ने भी हिंदी में बोला कुछ और वो please थोड़ा mute कर लीजिए. So you have to understand this, that your insulin levels are not supposed to be in a state of hyper. It cannot be high. Okay. The last point is about triglyceride in HDL. I think every second person that I meet is, paranoid about 200 cholesterol levels. As if somebody with 200 plus cholesterol levels or somebody with 300 plus cholesterol level is going to get a heart attack immediately and die. Because that's the way we have been made to understand that high cholesterol is equal to heart attack. Total cholesterol, which is supposed to be less than 200 or 220. I'll request please mute your this thing, because in my my laptop the sound is coming very loudly. Okay, so a total cholesterol which is 200 or 220 depending from lab to lab, which is 250 acceptable in US, in India it is 200 or 220, is a sum total of various types of cholesterol that is there in your body. Cholesterol is good. Cholesterol is very, very good. Cholesterol ke bina aap mar jaoge. We will die without cholesterol. So please don't make cholesterol a villain. The management of cholesterol has to be good has to be correct in your body. So there is something called a good cholesterol, which is HDL or high density lipoprotein, and as it says, lipo means fat, protein. So they are carriers which carry the cholesterol. So then there's something called LDL or a low density lipoprotein, and it's called bad. And good and bad comes because some cholesterols are running into the liver for repair, recovery, and the other cholesterols repair होने के बाद liver से आपके body में flow कर. And then you have got triglycerides, which are fat, and then you've got very low density lipoprotein VLDL, which is actually directly related to your triglycerides. So that is what is total cholesterol. What you should be worried about is that your triglyceride to HDL ratio should be ideally 2, but definitely less than 2.5. Definitely less than 2.5. In my group, believe me, there are many, I don't know how many are listening to me right now, 64 participants. Whosoever is from my group, they will tell you that there are people in my group who are at a triglyceride to HDL ratio of 1. 1. Triglyceride 65, HDL 65. And most of the people in my group, in fact, everyone who has reversed and who are in consolidation phase, stabilization phase, their triglyceride to HDL ratio is less than 2, which means that your HDL can be little low at 50. Most of the people who are listening to me are all in their middle age bracket. Your HDL is supposed to be more than 50. But suppose your HDL is 48 or 50 and your triglyceride is 95 or 100. It is okay. It is good. A ratio of 2 is fine. Rather than your HDL being at 40 or 39 or 41 or 42 and your triglyceride being at 149 or 148, because 150 is the upper limit. So after that, the doctors get concerned. Beyond 175, doctors will get more concerned. Beyond 200, they will start giving you statins and medicines. So you may be at 150 triglyceride and your HDL could be just about 40 or 45. And your ratio is more than 2, more than 2.5, which is not good. And those are early indicators of insulin resistance. And that is what the damage assessment you have to do. And that is what you will learn once you see all these videos. Now, this was a video I had to make, so I gave out the 3 important facets of how to do the damage assessment. But for the periodic assessments, which is basically your blood test, no blood test के अलावा तो और कोई तरीका है नहीं. How do you know that your vehicle is getting repaired? How will you come to know? So there are various types of blood assessments. You can do your kidney function test or renal function test, your liver function test. So basically your urea, your uric acid, your filtration rate, etc. should be correct. In liver function, your SGOT, SGPT with the liver enzymes, they should be absolutely low, below 40, below 30. You cannot have a fatty liver. You cannot have fatty infiltration in your liver. Your thyroid has to be stable. And this is something, which develops with diabetics. So if you are chronic diabetic, you will develop thyroid. If you are suffering from thyroid for a very long time, you will one point of time probably become diabetic, because both of them are linked to insulin resistance very, very strongly. And thyroid is a gland, very sensitive gland, at the near our neck, which controls each and every movement in our body. So thyroid profile is very important. I have got a video on that also, and you can see your TSH should be less than 5, but I will advise everyone to keep their TSH less than 3.5 with a steady T3 and T4. Similarly, then you have inflammatory markers. Your inflammation cannot be high in the body. So if you have got joint pain, your haddiyon mein dard ho raha hai and all, your ESR and CRP will be high. CRP stands for C-reactive protein, and a lot of people would have done CRP test during the COVID times. Okay, so your ESR and CRP should be normal. And what is this? I'm not able to see because of, has the B12 come? So your B12.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So your vitamin B12, and let me press the next one, vitamin D. These two are also very, very important. Many of you would not know, और जो diabetic हैं, जो सुन रहे हैं मेरे को, जो diabetic का medicine लेते हैं, you would not know, but please Google and read about it, that if you are taking metformin, which is the basic dose, आप combo drug में लो या directly metformin लो, if you are taking metformin, it reduces B12 absorption in your body. So your B12 level falls. Vitamin B12, vitamin D, they are absolutely necessary for your pancreas health. Your inflammation in pancreas will reduce if your vitamin B12 and vitamin D levels are okay. I have spoken about vitamin D a lot. In fact, जो मैंने 5-finger punch की बात की है, one of the finger is vitamin D. Coming back to vitamin B12. If you have diabetic neuropathy, there is a tingling sensation in your fingers, in your feet. Please get your B12 checked, and please, manage your B12 better. So B12 is important for your cells, for your cellular health, for your nerve health. It's important for your pancreas. So please look into vitamin D and vitamin B12 also when you do your periodic assessment. These two cannot be low, and you cannot boast about that मेरा सब कुछ ठीक हो गया है, HbA1c कम हो गया है. If your vitamin D is low, B12 is low, your HbA1c is going to again go up because you are not insulin sensitive. Okay. Then there is something which is a little technical, and I have put it in a box, and that is, you can get these tests done, but these tests are required only for following conditions. Number one, if you are type 1 diabetic and you are trying to manage it better, so obviously type 1 diabetic का खुद का insulin तो बनता नहीं है, so you will have to do a C peptide test, because C peptide will tell you how good is your, or how better is your pancreatic health. Same is with serum lipase. Beta cell functionality is something that even type 2 diabetics can do. And people who are severe in their type 2 diabetes, who have not managed it well, whose sugar levels are very, very high, who in their reversal journey are not able to control their sugars in spite of applying the punch, in spite of having a stable liver health, stable kidney health, very stable inflammatory markers like ESR, CRP, vitamin D, B12 level भी अभी अच्छा हो गया, पर फिर भी sugar level control नहीं हो रहा है. That is where you have to look into your pancreas health. And if it is there, then you need to eat accordingly and exercise accordingly, do your yoga accordingly, etc., etc. Because ultimately तो आपने पंच मारना ही है, मतलब सिर्फ evaluation से नहीं हो. But अगर आपका evaluation ही सही नहीं है, if you don't know how to evaluate yourself, then there is a problem. And I'm not telling anyone to become a doctor. Neither have I become a doctor. I'm just telling that this is our blood report. These blood reports are not meant for doctors' studies. These are meant for us to understand our health better. ये जिंदगी हमारी है ना, ये जिंदगी किसी और की नहीं है. तो हम सिर्फ आंख बंद. I understand that we cannot become doctors. Neither can I become a doctor. Neither I can't do my MBBS and deep studies of medical science when I don't have any knowledge. But yes, I can gather basic information, and these are all basic studies, basic information. Okay. When we talk about assessment, there is something called daily assessment, which I told you. And daily assessment is something which we lack a lot. I find Ashish drinking something right now. So has Ashish drank that because Ashish had in his mobile an application which did kar 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 ting 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 ting, and Ashish picked up the glass and put it in his mouth, or is it that Ashish ka body ne usko response diya ki Ashish, please put some water into your body, I am thirsty. That is communication. So when your body tells you to sleep, we are supposed to sleep. When your body tells you that please eat, I'm hungry, we are supposed to put food into our body. And like that, there are so many things that happens 24/7, and we negate almost everything because we are working a lot and we want to achieve some results. We don't want to sleep when we are sleepy. We don't want to eat when we are hungry. We tend to eat in name of stress. We call it stress eating. So these are the things which are going wrong. And when you do your periodic medication and you are applying your punch and you are assessing yourself every day, you don't assess just by weight. And while most of the people are overweight, so-called people with excess body fat, and I am also having excess body fat right now, and all of us who are listening will have varying fat content in our body, it is not just about weight, because हमको और कुछ सिखाया नहीं है. अच्छा, आप डायबिटिक हो, आपका वेट 95 है, इसको 85 करके लाओ. अभी आप 85 के हो गए, अभी आप इसको 75 करके लाओ. So it is not about 20-30 kgs losing body weight. That will happen automatically. We have to also communicate beyond that. We have to do our daily monitoring beyond that. And that daily monitoring will happen once the communication starts. So the moment you have a better communication, you will be able to apply yourself better. जब आपको नींद आएगी और आप सोगे, आपको सुबह उठ के हैरानी होगी that why, damn it, in spite of sleeping so well, my sugar levels have gone down. And yes, it will go down because you've addressed so many systems in your body by sleeping better. So it is not that, laughter is a good medicine. Yes, laughter is a good medicine because it makes your body secrete certain hormones which are very, very good for your health. Fine. But then you cannot go to a park and start laughing and say that I'm doing a laughter therapy. That is not laughter therapy. You need to be genuinely happy to laugh. आपको हंसी नहीं आ रही है पर आप पार्क में जाके हा 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 कर रहे हो. That is not communication. So laugh, and if you know that laughter is good, you be in a company of people who make you laugh. If Kapil Sharma show makes you laugh, laugh. If a comedy show makes you laugh, if Tom and Jerry makes you laugh, please see that again. Don't bother what will people tell you that at the age of 50 you're watching Tom and Jerry. You want to be happy because you were stressed. You want to counterbalance that stress. So please understand this slide. Our daily assessment has to be better. और daily assessment में जब हमने नीचे वाला कर दिया, that we start communicating better and we start understanding ourselves better, that is the time when you'll be able to assess that now my inflammation is going down. Now the pain in my knees are little less. Now my fingers don't pain so much. Now I feel more energetic when I get up. Now I don't feel exhausted after walking 5 kilometers or 3 kilometers or 1 kilometer. Now I can run a distance of 2 kilometers or a 5 kilometer better than what I was running 1 month back. And this fluctuates. This fluctuates. I mean, I could be at a very good, so one of my markers could be, very, very high and better right now, and it could go bad because I have not done things properly. So we have to understand our daily assessment and communicate better. And with all this, I come to the point of metabolism. And, before I talk about metabolism, and metabolism is something that most of us talk here, hamara metabolism acha hona chahiye. I will just say that, hereafter I will not show any more slides. So I would like to open up my talk into an interactive session. So I am firstly, where is my mouse? Sorry. So I will stop the share. Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Colonel Gautam.
Oh, I've got a lot to talk. Yeah, I've got a lot to talk, Ashish. So I will now continue with metabolism.
Okay.
Now please understand, metabolism kya hai? Metabolism is a cycle. Metabolism is better energy management. Management means that you should be able to firstly generate the right energy. It is not कि मेरे पालक पनीर में 250 कैलोरी था कि नहीं था, and 250 calorie is just a unit of heat, a unit of energy. It doesn't mean that आपके body में 250 calorie घुस गया है. So when you talk about better energy management in improving your metabolism, you have to understand that the energy is generating correctly in your body. We cannot be very well nourished. You are focusing on your diet. So your diet plates are very good. So you think that your nourishment is good. That cannot be the order of the day if you are malnourished at the cellular level. That nourishment is not for your stomach to be filled. That nourishment is for the cells of your body. And that is what is metabolism. So that is not metabolism. That is the first step of metabolism. So when we eat a food, we need to utilize the nutrition in that food properly. Yes, we do avoid a food. For example, a diabetic should not be eating an apple because it will not keep the doctor away. It will make you go to the doctor every second day if you start eating apples every day. That is not because apples have or don't have vitamin A, B, C, D, E, or magnesium or iron, etc. No, it is because that apple has got plentiful amount of fructose. और आप जब वो एप्पल खरीद रहे हो तो आप वो फ्रूट वाले भैया को बोलते हो भैया मीठे वाले सेब दे. So you are not eating the apple because you want to take all those nutritions. We don't put a food into our mouth thinking that इसके अंदर ये nutrients है. We eat that apple and we don't eat that apple if it is sweet or not sweet. So you love the sweetness of the apple. So we avoid it because of the fructose and not because of the other this thing. Now, once you have started eating correct, so you said, okay, fine, I'll avoid that. I will take vegetables more. And you are putting a particular vegetable which is very low in carbohydrates. It does not have fructose and all sugars in any form. Say, for example, you've taken a bagan or a lauki, which is very low in sugars. The other nutrients need to reach right up to the cellular level. Once it reaches there, your body should be able to use that. What is the point if you are eating and so-called eating correct, but when it comes to walking, running, living your life, you are tired the whole day. You are tired at office. You cannot go to the gym, or you cannot go for a walk, or you don't feel like doing a home workout. What's the point? Okay. So metabolism is, eating, which is the first step, and then all your systems get into place, be it your digestive system, excretory system, circulatory system, endocrine system. So all these systems need to function well. The moment the system starts functioning well, the energy generation will be better. You will be at a better metabolic state. You will be at a better metabolism. And once you get into this good circle, you will start eating more correct. You will start developing more energy in your body. So when I said that, all your systems have to get in place, get correct, the most important thing for that is your intestines, especially your small intestine, जिसको कि हम gut बोलते हैं. And most of us are aware, we read, we see a lot of reels and this and that. People talk about gut health, people talk about detox and what all. But gut is your second brain, and gut is very, very important. So you will have to look at it, and I think I will cover gut health separately, because gut in itself is a very, very deep subject. But it will be suffice for me to tell you that, for example, for your diabetes, since the topic today is diabetes, there are certain, bacteria like coprococcus. Now, coprococcus is a good bacteria, and it's a bacteria which makes your body insulin sensitive. So you need more of good bacteria. You need less of bad bacteria in your gut. So what you must focus is on your pre and probiotics. And you have heard this term, both are necessary for a healthy gut. Probiotics means the bacteria, the good bacteria. And prebiotics is the food for bacteria, basically the fiber. So जिसको देखो वो बोलता है क्या कि आपके डाइट में फाइबर होना चाहिए. The fiber is got zero nutrition. Fiber is not giving you anything. Fiber is food for the bacteria. So prebiotic is food for the probiotic. So probiotics, which help to break down food better in your body, which will help better absorption of food into your body. So you must take probiotic foods. And I understand that it's very difficult to get them. We tend to take dahi or curd or yogurt in whatever form, and we call that as a probiotic. You get probiotic drinks, but unfortunately they are infused with sugars. So look for probiotic drinks which don't have sugars. You can eat pickle. हम लोग पुराने जमाने में पांता भात खाते थे बंगाल में. It's fermented food, fermented roti. You will suddenly find an article, fermented roti has cured managed his glucose levels very well. Fermentation or fermented foods का glucose के साथ direct कोई link नहीं है. But the moment probiotics or the good bacteria enter into your gut, and you have taken pickle, you have taken sarkard, you have taken kimchi, all these foods are very high in probiotics. You are trying to improve the good bacteria in your gut. So you should look at probiotics. And similarly, prebiotics. Prebiotics is fiber. मैं सबको बोलता हूँ छिलके के साथ खाओ, और मैं I see, now I have seen less, but I see every third or fourth person taking almonds soaked in water, because एक बंदे ने आर्टिकल लिखा 1990s में कि भाई almonds, and every dietitian, every doctor, everyone, including Baba Ramdev and everyone, and I've got no qualms about it, because knowledge is nobody's personal this thing. Anybody can acquire knowledge, but everybody wants to soak almonds, and there is just one article which talks about an acid in the almond skin. उस एसिड का आपके पेट में जाने से आपके बॉडी के अंदर आयरन एब्जॉर्प्शन थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, और it leads to your mineral absorption. It impedes mineral absorption, and that is why everyone is leaving almond skin. But that's again not the complete story. I was giving you example of the classroom and the cameras. मैंने आज तक किसी भी आलमंड, कभी भी आलमंड बिना स्किन के नहीं खाया है. मेरे ग्रुप में कोई भी नहीं खाता है, हर कोई आलमंड स्किन के साथ खा रहा है, सबका डायबिटीज रिवर्स हो रहा है. Almond skins have got no problem. Any skin has got fiber. Any skin is basically good for your gut. चाहे वो कद्दू का छिलका हो, बैगन का छिलका हो, चाहे वो आपके नट्स का छिलका हो या कुछ हो. So we will not digress, but all these tannin and acids and all are there behind the skin. It's a natural thing which God has made. But गिलहरी या squirrel भी तो है, वो nuts खाता है ना, वो बिना छिलके के नहीं खाता है वो. The squirrel does not go about. They have also got a stomach, and they also got a lining. They also got everything. So it's not that bad that you please take skins. Skins are rich in antioxidants. Fiber is good, and especially you must take all foods which are rich in insoluble fiber or non-digestible fiber. They are good. So please take your prebiotics, which is food for your probiotics. And there are certain foods which we take daily, but we don't focus, and they are very rich in prebiotics. And that is onion, garlic, There are people who don't take onion and garlic, fine. Take tomatoes. So take prebiotics. You can also take a pro and prebiotic supplement. Go on Amazon, go on any of the search engines, and you will find a lot of pro and prebiotics from good companies. You can take that also. That should also be part of it. There are people in my health group who take, including myself, who take isabgol, psyllium husk every day. Now, psyllium or xylem husk is absolutely fine. It is not for your treating your loose motions or constipation. कि पानी में डाल के ले लिया या दूध में डाल के ले लिया. I am not here to discuss constipation. Again, constipation is a state of your gut. Loose motions is a state of your gut. But I am talking about the fiber content. If you take fiber, your cholesterol levels, your lipids will come down, will stabilize. Psyllium husk will get your LDLs down, will get your triglycerides down, which has a bearing with sugar, which has a bearing with diabetes. I hope this much you all will agree, or you all will now sync with me. Because किसी को जब मैं बोलता हूं कि Psyllium husk लो, आपका लिपिड ठीक होगा, सर मेरा कोलेस्ट्रॉल ठीक ठाक है सर, my triglyceride is 137, मेरा HDL थोड़ा कम है, मेरा बस आप ग्लूकोज कम करा. So please understand that fiber is very, very important. So a combination of pre and probiotics is very, very important when you look at improving your, what you call this, metabolism. The second thing that you must focus, and this has been on WhatsApp and the social media lately, is a type of exercise. And you know, पता नहीं कहां से एक article मेरे इसमें आ गया. My AI is such in my mobile and laptop that whenever I write something, you know, all health related things come out. So अगर आप भी Google करोगे, देखोगे इसको, people said there is a type of exercise, and if you do that exercise, your diabetes will get healed or cured or lowered. Your sugar levels will get lowered. But what is that? That is basically addressing your second heart. आपका पहला दिल तो यहाँ पे है, आपके छाती में, left side. That is your first heart. You also have a second heart, which is your calf muscles. And what is the importance of calf muscles? It pushes the blood through your veins, the deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood का कोई problem नहीं है. If your heart is good, your heart is healthy, it will pump the oxygenated blood to each and every cell and tissue of your body, right up till your toe. That's okay. But how does the deoxygenated blood from your foot come back to your heart, come back to your lungs to take the oxygen again? And that is where your second heart or your calf muscles comes into play. And that is what I'm talking about. So you have to look at your calf muscles. To deal with this situation, I used to do a lot of staircase climbing, and now I've reduced. But if you go to this thing, and people who know me, they know I have done 100 stories and all that. People in my group, they don't have time. I tell them, शाम को जाओ, 3 मंजिल, 2 मंजिल, 6 मंजिल, जिस भी आप स्टोरी में रहते हो, जिस भी फ्लोर में रहते हो, go down, climb up, take a lift, go down, again climb up. Do it twice, do it thrice. Climb 10 floors, climb 20 floors, climb 40 floors. But dude, climb at your own speed. Initially, if you've got a joint pain and you are not able to climb, hold the railing and walk. But at least engage your calf muscles. I have told a lot of people to go on YouTube and see ballerina exercises. The girls who do ballet dance, their calves are very strong because they need stronger calves. I tell people to, and that's why walking is good, because you are engaging your calf. So, wo jo WhatsApp ka video chal raha tha, what was that? That if you are sitting in your office, keep moving your heel up and down. So put your foot on the toes and put your heel up and down. It's basically what? You're engaging your calf. So please stick to your second heart, which will help you a lot in improving your metabolism. So do all exercises which are, which engages your calf nicely. Okay. Then comes, the next thing is that we can talk about each and every system, but the next most important system is endocrine system. Your endocrine system has to work better than what it is working today when you are in your reversal path, which means that your hormonal balance is better. Endocrine deals with the hormones of your body, deals with the glands. So be it any gland, and I have given example in one of my YouTube videos of the tear gland, which is the lacrimal gland. यहाँ पे होता है. So यहाँ से जो आंसू निकलता है, वो आंख में यहाँ से निकलता है. Now you cannot put an injection or put a medicine to control this. This is a natural process of the body. If you are happy or if you are very sad, the tears will roll down. Similarly, आपका भूख, your hunger, या not feeling hungry, or whatever you are doing is all hormone controlled. Your urge to do something or your urge not to do something. And that is why this hormonal balance is important. When it comes to diabetes in specific, you have to look beyond insulin. We are only and only concerned about insulin. And you have to look beyond insulin. In fact, just now I saw in the screen, because my screen is switching the listeners, I saw Dr. Vijaya Patel. And Dr. Vijaya Patel is somebody who helped me a lot when I was down with COVID 2 years back. Dr. Vijaya Patel is herself a doctor. She has got a hospital, but she's suffering from diabetes. And she has to look at her hormones beyond insulin, beyond just the beta cells of pancreas. Beta cell तो ठीक करना ही करना है, पर beta cell के beyond भी देखना पड़ेगा. I'm sorry, Dr. Vijay, I just took your example and I hope you don't mind. Okay. So what are the other things that you have to look into beyond insulin? You have to look at another cells in your pancreas, which is the alpha cells. Beta cell जैसे insulin बनाता है, alpha cell glucagon बनाता है, और glucagon ठीक उल्टा काम करता है. Insulin makes your glucose levels go down, glucagon makes your glucose levels go up. So it can't be that your insulin is trying to get managed better, but your glucagon is going out of control, and glucagon is just increasing the glucose in your body. Similarly, there are important hormones like cortisol, stress hormone, which are there on top of your kidneys, on the adrenal glands. You could be having a very, very bad, and cortisol test is very difficult. When you go to a lab or a doctor, they will tell you cortisol test is done throughout the day. रात को, सुबह को, 2 घंटे बाद, 4 घंटे बाद. But you generally know that I am stressed up. 24/7 I am stressed up. When I was 45 years old, or when I was 40 years old, or when I was 35 years old, I think I was very, very stressed up in my life. And that's why probably I got diabetes at the age of 46. Sorry, whatever, 45, 44. And I could reverse my diabetes at the age of 48. And now at the age of 52, I am not that much stressed. And my cortisol levels are definitely much, much better than what it was 10 years back or 15 years back. So, then there are hormones like ghrelin, leptin. मैंने hunger की बात की, मैंने thyroid की बात की थी इससे पहले. So all this hormonal balance has to happen. You cannot have a imbalanced thyroid or a very high ghrelin levels, or you have leptin resistance, or you have insulin resistance, which is the core issue of diabetes. So you have to look at a balanced hormonal levels or hormonal balance, which is balanced endocrine system. Okay, so what else? Last is your mitochondrial density and mitochondrial function. Now I spoke about nutrition at cellular level. आप सब कुछ कर रहे हो, but आपके शरीर में माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया ही कम है. Mitochondria is power. We have all done class 8th 9th biology. Okay, so, हम सेल का डायग्राम बनाते थे. सेल के अंदर एक माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होता था, बोर्ड शेप. That is mitochondria, the powerhouse, the generator. And how do you think Gautam Buddha could have fasted under the Bodh Gaya tree for so many days? How do you think that people are doing something? Fasting, I just give an example. People are able to do a work better than another person. That's because the generation of energy, that's because the mitochondrial densities are more. The mitochondrial function is better. And all these facets of metabolism that I'm talking about is better. And that is why that person is able to, has got a better output. So mitochondrial density के लिए fasting के बारे में आप पढ़ोगे तो you will find that yes, fasting improves your mitochondrial density and all. So fasting is a routine thing. It's a part of the punch, the 5-finger punch that I spoke about. So people use the word intermittent fasting, and I say that don't just do a fasting because you read about it that okay, 16:8 is good or 14:10 is good, or we should not eat, we should skip breakfast. Not at all. All these statements are, I won't say incorrect, they are incomplete. There are people in my group who don't eat breakfast or who take their first meal of the day a little late. And to avoid this confusion, I removed breakfast, lunch, and dinner from my life and from my group. We use the word first meal of the day, second meal of the day, last meal of the day. It's become my habit now for the last 5 years. So there are people in my group who are taking their first meal of the day at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they are reversing diabetes. And they are doing intermittent fasting because their last meal of the day is at 2 in the afternoon. or 4 in the evening. So from 4 in the evening, because they are okay with that lifestyle. So it just depends. And fasting is a tool. Fasting is not a punishment. You cannot fast. I'm repeating, you cannot fast if you don't know what to eat, how to eat, and if you do not exercise. If you do not exercise, the food will not act on your body. If you exercise at the right time and then eat, the nutritional absorption will be better. The generation of energy will be better. You will be able to fast better. Fasting is not about कि आप पेट पकड़ के बैठे हुए हो and you are holding on to a time and to an application. People have got intermittent fasting application. इसमें application क्या चाहिए? You know that I'm not eating now. That's it. और सुबह जब भूख लगेगी मैं खाऊंगा. मेरा बॉडी ऐसा हो गया कि मेरे को 14 घंटे भूख नहीं लगती है. That's it. It's as simple as that. I don't need an app wherein I do a disservice to my body. I said ना that 24/7 we are communicating. बॉडी बोल रही है कि भाई खा ले, तेरे को भूख लग रही है. हम जिद में अड़े हुए हैं. नहीं, मैं intermittent fasting कर रहा हूं. I will not eat. That's not the idea of intermittent fasting. So you have to understand how to do fasting. And the moment you start fasting better, you will be able to improve your mitochondrial density and mitochondrial function. There could be more than one mitochondria in your cells, and that is what I mean by mitochondrial density. Okay. And the moment you are able to generate better power, you will be able to improve your metabolism. As I said, fasting ke liye exercise and your eating is important. Mitochondrial density, using resistance against yourself, it will help you to improve your mitochondrial density. So you have to look at all these facets when we talk about mitochondria. So we have to improve our metabolism, and that is how we'll be able to deal with diabetes better. Ultimately, as I said, the first step is evaluation. Please evaluate your diabetic condition, because I find diabetes is being used as a very generic term. Sir, मेरे को भी diabetes है, कुछ बताओ ना. I mean, what do you expect me to tell you? I mean, diabetic condition, two people who are diabetic for 5 years will have a different story altogether. And there are so many external factors, there are so many internal factors, exogenous and endogenous. So we'll have to evaluate correctly and then go about. And मैं सबको बोलता हूँ, please stop following anybody. Don't follow Gautam Guha. Don't ask me, sir, एक diet plan दो. Don't ask me, sir, एक exercise plan दो. The moment we do that, you know, we are not self-driven. We have to be self-driven. We have to understand why we are eating something and why we are not eating something. We have to understand that why am I doing resistance training? Why am I lifting weights? Why am I lifting a dumbbell? Why am I doing a push-ups? Push-ups करने से क्या होगा? It is not push-ups करने से diabetes ठीक होगा. That is the ultimate aim. But push-ups हम क्यों कर रहे हैं? What are we trying to do in our body? So please follow your own diet. That diet should be my diet plan of 2023. And my diet plan, or Gautam Guha's diet plan, is different in 2023 than what it was in 2018. But somebody who is now trying to reverse diabetes has to be as close to what probably I was eating, or what so many people were eating in 2018. That's the understanding that you must have. So first is that you must evaluate your diabetes condition correctly. Once you have done that, you must go about making the lifestyle changes without tinkering with your medicines like a fool. There are people who just because their sugar levels have fallen down by 20, they just leave a medicine. It's not. So please see my video. Please get your body gradually reach the end point. Don't do drastic actions. Sugar level falling or हाथ का कांपना is probably a hypoglycemic sign. My father is 82 years old, 83 years old. And my father is diabetic for last 35 years, 40 years. And my father also shows signs of hypoglycemia. He's insulin dependent. But my father used to be at very high insulin levels, and now he's managing at a very, very low insulin level. But even when he shows sign of hypoglycemia, my mother, my father, at the age of 83 and 81, they know what to do. They don't go and take chini, which they used to do. Dabba kholo, batasha muh mein dalo. No, please don't do that. Don't be so jerky. Hypoglycemia is not something to be very, very afraid of. And I'm saying this on record. We are not worried about hyperglycemia. You go to somebody and go to a diabetologist, go to an endocrinologist and tell that I've got 300 sugar. He will look at it you very normally. अरे कोई बात नहीं, दवाई दे देंगे, ठीक हो जाएगा. But you go and tell a doctor, I'm मतलब वो तो आप बोलोगे भी क्या, मतलब आप हाइपो का नाम लोगे and the doctor will say no, take a Cadbury chocolate, eat something. So don't worry about hypo so much. You are undertaking a lifestyle change to get your hyper condition to hypo. And hypo not in the classical sense. You are wanting your sugar levels to fall from 150 to 90 and from 90 to 70. मेरे ग्रुप के अंदर तो people who are there, they know what sugar levels we play around with or we live with. There are people with a sugar level of 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, lifting weights, doing everything, running, pumping, jumping. And I'm talking about people at the age of 45, 50, 55, 60, 67. Okay, so age is not an issue. Your sex, your lifestyle, which part of the country you belong is not an issue. The correct approach is important. I have a girl from Kohima who only eats non-veg. Her triglycerides, cholesterol, everything is fine, but she's diabetic and she's reversing that. I have a lady from Rajasthan or from Gujarat who does not take even lasan and pyaj, forget non-veg. Even she's reversing diabetes. Diabetes is hitting each and every community because we don't know what is hitting. So non-veg, getting veganism or becoming a vegetarian is not the answer. I respect everybody. I have got vegans in my group. I've got vegetarians in my group. I've got non-vegetarians in my group. Does that matter? It doesn't matter. Whether you are whether you are in the corporate world or whether you are a doctor. And again, no offense meant to doctors. There are so many doctors in my group. Doctors can't have diabetes. They can have diabetes. I went for a health seminar to Hyderabad and we started off with a 2-minute silence because 3 doctors had died. Age 47, 50s, neurologist in Hyderabad, they've died. Lifestyle ailments can hit anybody, whether you are a doctor, you are a corporate, you are a Fauji, you are a so-called, like he introduced, I've been to Siachen and I've been to Black Cat Commandos and I was part of the Mumbai operation. So what? I've got diabetes. I had a lot of other issues in my body. I had thyroid. Everything went haywire. You need to understand the correct approach. So evaluation, after evaluation, changing your lifestyle, managing your medicines, very, very important, correctly. Not to panic. Join a community if you can. Otherwise, on your own, you can do it. Go to good doctors. Take second opinions. And please reduce your medicines correctly at the right time. Don't just fall into prey of various things now mushrooming in all across the country. HbA1c 8.9, now 6.4. Join us, reverse diabetes. Sorry, sir. It's not that simple. I have got people in my group. I can name them also. Rajesh Dhiman from Chandigarh. His HbA1c is 4.1. 4.1. But he is not insulin sensitive. He's still insulin resistant. Giving examples. My HbA1c has never gone, in the last 5 years, has never gone below 5.3. I am insulin sensitive. कल रात को मैंने आइसक्रीम खाया, मेरी बेटी वापस आई है कॉलेज से. I had ice cream with my daughter. That doesn't mean that today morning my sugar will be 91. It has to be less than 90. That is insulin sensitivity. So my HbA1c is between 5.3 and 5.7 or 5.6. That's it. The moment it is 5.7, I do something to make it 5.4. That's it. But there are people who are applying themselves so strongly. They have gone to 4.1 also. But there are still other issues that are mucking them, which I explained. गाड़ी के अंदर आपने इंजन को ठीक कर दिया है और अभी भी गाड़ी का एक टायर पंचर है, उस पंचर को भी रिपेयर करेंगे और तब गाड़ी भी दौड़ेगी. आपने पंचर को रिपेयर कर दिया, गाड़ी के इंजन को ठीक कर दिया, but still you have got issues with something else in your body. So we have to evaluate ourselves correctly. And then a lot of people ask me, सर मैं आपका ये डाइट खाऊंगा तो कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि मेरा वेट लॉस हो जाएगा क्योंकि मैं पहले ही 50 kg का हूं. Another funny thing. So I tell him, नहीं भाई तू एक काम कर, तू रोज समोसे और गुलाब जामुन खा और अपना वेट बढ़ा. People are obsessed with weight. A 50-year-old diabetic who is very dangerous, who is as dangerous as a very, very obese diabetic. In fact, thin diabetics are much more dangerous because all that sugar is inside the body and it is not getting converted into fat. जो मोटा आदमी है उसके लिए तो कम से कम भगवान ने एक रास्ता निकाल दिया है कि भाई आपका जो एक्सेस शुगर है, it will go into your gall and into your body और आपको वो मोटा बना देगा, फैट बनके डिपॉजिट हो जाएगा. Imagine thin diabetics. I don't know whether Shyam Joshi is listening to me or not. मेरे दिमाग में श्याम घूम रहा है. Shyam is just 50 kgs और Shyam has just joined my group. इज वेरी इन द इनिशियल स्टेज ऑफ रिवर्सल। और शाम का आज सुबह का क्वेरी था, सर ये मैं डाइट खा रहा हूँ, अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत एनर्जी आ रहा है, ये आ रहा है, पर मेरा 1 kg कम हो गया या 1 kg ज्यादा हो गया, कहीं मैं और वेट कम तो नहीं हो जाएगा। So we are worried about that also. There are people who are applying themselves into the diabetes reversal journey, but they are worried, and rightfully so, because we have been made to think like that. Sir, मैं अभी प्रोटीन बहुत ज्यादा खा रहा हूँ, तो कहीं मेरा यूरिक एसिड तो नहीं बढ़ जाएगा? I hope I will not have something, because sir, I read this article on keto diet. Keto diet से बंदी मर गई. There is some actress of some regional language who died of a keto diet. अब how do you make how does that become a Google headline? I mean, is that a correct evaluation? That so and so died of a keto diet. You don't die of a diet. Come on, please. You die of a condition happening in your body. Eating wrong is wrong. We all have been eating wrong. अगर हम सही खा रहे होते तो आज हम लोग बैठ के ये क्या बोलते हैं Zoom में नहीं बैठे होते हम लोग सारे. Every day, everywhere, people are becoming more and more diabetic and other lifestyle ailments. और फिर भी हम जैसी कुछ करेक्शन करते we get very worried. सर इससे कहीं यूरिक एसिड नहीं बढ़ जाएगा? Obviously not. I am not saying कि आप गाड़ी का हेडलाइट ठीक करो और अपना टायर पंचर कर दो. I am not saying कि गाड़ी के इंजन को सिर्फ ठीक करो और गाड़ी के चारों टायर को पंचर कर दो. मैं तो बोल ही रहा हूँ, चाहे वो एग्जॉस्ट हो, चाहे वो लाइट हो, चाहे वो इंजन हो, चाहे वो ट्रांसमिशन सिस्टम हो, सब कुछ ठीक होना चाहिए. How can it be that your kidneys are not working? How can it be they are not filtering good? So please understand that when you are looking into reversal of diabetes, please don't fall prey to something, because what happens is that the moment you reduce carbohydrates in your diet, है क्या, 3 ही तो मैक्रोज है, कोई चौथा मैक्रो तो है नहीं. एक कार्बोहाइड्रेट है, एक फैट है और एक प्रोटीन है. तो आपने कार्बोहाइड्रेट को कम कर दिया तो ऑब्वियसली कंपैरिजन में आपको लगेगा कि मैं फैट और प्रोटीन बहुत ज्यादा खा रहा हूँ. नाउ यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग वरीड. सर मैं ना आजकल, पहले तो मैं रोटी भी खाता था, चावल भी खाता था, और गुलाब जामुन भी खाता था, और समोसे भी खाता था, और पास्ता भी खाता था, और नूडल भी खाता था. अभी मैं ये सब नहीं खा रहा हूँ. तो कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि सर अभी मैं इतना बादाम खा रहा हूँ या इतना बीज खा रहा हूँ या इतना अंडे खा रहा हूँ तो कहीं मेरा कोलेस्ट्रॉल तो नहीं बढ़ जाएगा, कहीं मेरा यूरिक एसिड तो नहीं बढ़ जाएगा? Because people are worried that fats, eating healthy fats will make them get a heart attack, or increased fat content will harm their body, increased protein content will harm their body. The moment somebody has got a kidney issue, the first thing doctor says, reduce your protein. Yes, obviously, because your kidney is at a stage. आपका छन्नी खराब हो गया है. तो जब आपका छन्नी खराब हो गया है तो उसमें से आप चाय को नहीं छाक सकते, because the chai patti will go through it. Simple as that. But if the chutney is good and you have to clean the chutney and make the chutney nice, तब आप उस छन्नी में रोज चाय निकालोगे तो चाय पत्ती ऊपर रह जाएगी, बाकी चाय नीचे निकलेगी. That is what it is supposed to do. But what do we do? Sir, I have been told by a doctor that I need to lose weight to reverse my diabetic or improve my diabetes condition. और सर ये मैंने पढ़ा है या किसी ने बताया है या किसी ने मेरे को ये भेजा है कि मुझे पूरे दिन 10 लीटर पानी पीना है, मुझे 10 बॉटल पानी पीना है, मुझे 6 बॉटल पानी पीना है. और सर मैंने ये एप्लीकेशन डाउनलोड किया है जो कि मेरे को हर 2 घंटे बाद बोलता है पानी पियो, पानी पियो, पानी पियो. तो सर अभी मेरी जिंदगी ऐसी है कि मैं अपनी बॉडी की नहीं सुनता हूं, मैं इस मोबाइल की सुनता हूं. Somebody is calling me. So sir, I have got an application here. This application tells me when to drink water. And I'm sorry to say, there are a lot of ladies and a lot of people who are elder to me, to give this example. I tell that person कि इसके बाद, please give me a minute. Hello. Yep, please call up after an hour, please. Please. Okay, sorry. I thought somebody from the gathering is calling. That's why I took the call. किस पे था? हाँ, तो वो ऐप देखकर पानी पी रहे हैं और मेरे से पूछते हैं, तो मैं बोलता हूँ कि भाई मैं पानी पे तो बाद में आऊंगा और किडनी पे बाद में आता हूँ. पर मैं आपको ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हम लोग जिस रास्ते पे चल रहे हैं, आज से 1 साल के बाद एक एप्लीकेशन निकलेगा जो आपको ये बताएगा कि आपको वॉशरूम में पॉटी करने के लिए कब जाना. We will not listen to our own body. We will go to the bathroom to clear our bowels, depending on that. सर अभी ऐप बोल रहा है कि अभी मुझे पॉटी करने जाना है, I'm going to the bathroom. हम लोग पता नहीं हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं और कहां जा रहे हैं. And that person is not at fault. You please understand. वो बंदा जो है या लेडी जो है या बंदा जो है या बंदी जो है वो डेस्परेट है अपने डायबिटीज कंडीशन को इंप्रूव करने के लिए, रिवर्स करने के लिए. तो उसको पहला गलत एडवाइस दिया गया कि भाई तुम बाकी सब छोड़ दो, अपना वेट कम करो. अब वेट के चक्कर में वो यहाँ दौड़ा, वहां दौड़ा, जहां पे भी गया, वहां पे उसको ये एडवाइस मिला कि भाई दबा के पानी पियो, बिकॉज पानी पीने से आपका वेट कम हो जाएगा। तो अब वो दबा के पानी पी रहा है। एंड इन दैट बार्गेन व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, योर किडनीज आर गेटिंग अफेक्टेड, टू मच ऑफ वाटर, यू आर लूजिंग आउट ऑन मिनरल्स एंड आयंस। वैसे ही आपका गट हेल्थ खराब था, आपका वैसे ही मिनरल एब्जॉर्प्शन अच्छा नहीं था, and then you are losing out also. So since I'm on this topic, I'll just share it because you all are listening. The correct catch to it, because a lot of people will ask me, how much water should we drink? I mean, I can't say. Somebody is listening to me from Pune, somebody may be listening to me from Dubai, somebody may be listening to me from a cold region, somebody may be listening from a hot region. And these are just external factors that I'm discussing. Somebody may have come back from a run, somebody metabolism may be very poor, somebody's metabolism may be good. So the best way is that drink adequate water, as much as that your urine is not white in color. The kidneys are not supposed to flush out water. You cannot have your urine being colorless. Your urine is supposed to be pale yellow. अगर आप यूरिन को होल्ड करोगे तो थोड़ा सा ज्यादा उसमें टॉक्सिन्स और वेस्ट ज्यादा आ जाएगा, आपका यूरिन का कलर डार्क हो जाएगा, दैट्स ऑल. और अगर आप लोग, आपको पता होगा ये सब, we all do this and we all know it, but still we drink water and we are taking out water. So don't do that. Your urine is supposed to be pale yellow in color. The moment you find your urine turning white, that is the time to stop drinking water. That is my first tip. And my second tip is that please learn to eat your water. We all drink water and we think that हमारे सेल्स के अंदर जो पानी है, हमारे बॉडी का जो हाइड्रेशन लेवल है, वो सिर्फ पानी पीने से ठीक हो जाता है. We need to understand to eat our water. So please take water rich foods, especially vegetables, greens. So वो लीजिए आप, so that your hydration level improves and that you're able to address your kidneys better. So you don't reverse diabetes or you don't reverse any health condition to harm your body. It cannot be at the cost of something. It is very, very incorrect and it is very stupid actually when somebody says कि यार मैं ये कर रहा था, ये करने के लिए मैंने ये किया, उस चक्कर में मेरा ये खराब हो. No, you cannot be reversing your diabetes and getting into whatever other condition, high uric acid. So I did not go into detail. There was one slide in which I showed what all tests are important. So yes, in my group also there are people. I ask them, talk to them. Has it happened that somebody's sugar level has gone down and uric acid level has gone up? No, it cannot happen if you're eating correct. If you're looking into your kidney health, if you're looking into your liver health, in fact, your liver fat will go away. Your liver will become healthier. मैं थिन डायबिटिक का एग्जांपल दे रहा था. थिन डायबिटिक का सारा फैट गाल पे नहीं है, बॉडी पे नहीं है, चर्बी कहीं नहीं है, सारा का सारा फैट उसका ऑर्गन्स पे है, because the sugar is inside the body. So such like people, they all need to look at reducing fat from inside their organs. The visceral fat needs to go down. They may be thin and that is why their weight may not be an issue. And उसको डॉक्टर ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि, बोल नहीं सकते डॉक्टर कि भाई आप अपना वेट कम करके आओ. पहले 50 केजी का खड़ा है आपके सामने, तो आप क्या बोलोगे? वेट कम करो. तो उसके लिए कोई एडवाइस नहीं होता. बट द मोमेंट यू आर 85 केजी और 100 केजी, फर्स्ट थिंग डॉक्टर से पहले वेट कम करो. यस, वेट कम हो जाएगा भाई, पर वेट को कम करने के लिए मुझे क्या करना है उस पर मुझे ध्यान देना. And at no point of time I am saying that you will run into a high uric acid because you are now eating too much of protein. You are not eating too much of protein. And then I find, sorry, एक और चीज याद आ गई मेरे को. लोग प्रोटीन कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हैं. Body weight into these many grams of protein per kg is equal to these many kg. So मैं अभी स्पून से डालूंगा और इतना ही प्रोटीन अपने बॉडी में डालूंगा. My dear sir and ma'am, it is not that simple. I understand people do that. I understand that there are people in health, wellness, bodybuilding, etc. Industries where they talk about all this, and especially I find the young generation taking powders, scoops, measuring, eating with measurements. Our body was not so complicated. It is still not that complicated. I mean, you mean to say that somebody who's 100 kgs, जिसके बॉडी में बहुत सारी चर्बी है, या somebody जिसका बोन डेंसिटी बहुत ज्यादा है और उसका मसल मास क्या है मुझे नहीं पता, बट उसका वेट इतना है, उसको ज्यादा प्रोटीन लेना चाहिए. और जो बंदा कमजोर है, जिसके बॉडी में वैसे ही मसल्स नहीं है, दुबला पतला बंदा है, उसको प्रोटीन कम खाना चाहिए. No, we must relook at all these things, and we must study up more and not be afraid of blaming A because of the fault of B. So these were my random thoughts at the end. So we have to improve our metabolism, and that's a daily indicator. So in my group, you will find people saying that now I'm able to run better. Abhi jodo mein dard kam ho gaya hai. We do simple exercises, home workouts, etc. Energy levels in office, in the work, in your home. Everyone is managing a family. Everyone is undergoing stress issues. We all have to manage it, and we are doing it, and we are all getting healthier and better. There are people who have reverse diabetes with me, and I'm using the word reverse diabetes. That is the topic today. We are in a state of remission or reversal, whatever you want to call it. But there are many like me who have not taken diabetes. I was diabetic only for 4 years, 4.5 years. There are people like, say, Mrs. Jagdish Garewal, from Ludhiana. She was diabetic for 26 years. Go to my website and see her video testimony. 26 साल की diabetic थी. उनकी दवाइयां उनसे पूछिए. मैंने शायद डिलीट मार दी. She was not on insulin, but she was on 8 medicines. You break it down, then it further becomes more complicated. Because a lot of medicines are now available in combo pack. Glimepiride ke saath metformin, sitagliptin ke saath metformin. So when you break it, then you have to reduce the medicines gradually. But she fought through it, and within, I think, year and a half, she has left all her medicines, got into the stabilization phase, consolidation phase, and now she's enjoying her life. She knows, by now she knows what she is supposed to do. Her glucose levels, after having left her medicines, I think she left her medicines in November last year, or I may be wrong. There's a girl who's now coming on my screen, Sonia. She's a young mother. She left her medicines in October or November last year. We are now talking in April. She does not take any medicines of diabetes. So I'm giving example of Sonia, who's a young girl. I'm giving, she must be in her 30s. I'm giving example of Mrs. Jagdish Garewal, who is 60 plus. So all types of people are doing it. And so you all also must do, you must empower yourself. You must empower yourself. What I do not give templated programs. I do not make templated schedules because I don't believe in that. My wife never knew in the reversal journey ki kal, I did not know that my wife kya banane wali hai. But my wife and I knew that humne ye khana nahi khana. I never knew that today is my hand day and today is my leg day and tomorrow is my laughing day because kal maine stress kam karna hai, aaj maine apne paon mein exercise karna hai. For me, exercise is exercise. जब टाइम मिले, जहां टाइम मिले, जैसा मिले ले लो. आप लोगों ने 3 इडियट्स देखा होगा. 3 इडियट्स में आमिर खान का एक डायलॉग है कि सर मैं किसी भी क्लासरूम में घुस जाता हूं, जहां से जो भी नॉलेज मिलता है ले लेता हूं. ये आमिर खान का डायलॉग है 3 इडियट्स में. हेल्थ भी वैसा ही है. जब जहां मौका मिले, एयरपोर्ट में मौका मिलता है, आई वॉक. इफ एनी वन ऑफ यू हैव बीन टू देहरादून एयरपोर्ट, द जॉली ग्रांट एयरपोर्ट में अभी वो चल रहा है, डेवलपमेंट चल रहा है. तो ऊपर का फर्स्ट फ्लोर पूरा खाली है, एंड इट्स अबाउट 200 मीटर बाई maybe 300 meter, huge area. I was waiting and my flight got delayed, so I was utilizing that time on top. कान में earpods में मैं कुछ सुन रहा था और मैं वॉक कर रहा था, या मैं जो भी सीढ़ियां चढ़ रहा था और मस्ती मार रहा था और गलत नहीं खा रहा था. जब भूख नहीं लग रही तो जबरदस्ती नहीं ढूंढ रहा था कि जॉली ग्रांट एयरपोर्ट में क्या मिलेगा मेरे को खाने के लिए. मुझे भूख ही नहीं लग रही, मैं क्यों खाऊंगा. और जब मुझे भूख लगेगी तब कोई मुझे रोक नहीं सकता है. I will eat, but I will try and eat as correct as possible. So whether you are traveling in office or whatever you are doing, please try to put in the facets of lifestyle correctly. You may falter in going for a walk or doing a physical workout today. It's okay. I mean, we all are living a life. We must make it up as early as possible. So with that, I will finish. And Ashish, I will, before I take the Q&A, that is, questions from all of you, which I will love to. I will request Ashish to take some feedback, which is supposed to, and I will just mute myself for some time. How do I mute?
I'll do that for you, Colonel Gautam.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Colonel Gautam, for such an awesome session and what amazing insights. I'm sure all of you have benefited from them. I'll request you to fill out this feedback form, short feedback form, which will take less than 30 seconds. We have shared the link in the chat. Please fill this out and type FD in the chat box. Thank you, Satish. Really appreciate your comment. Type FD in the chat box, and while you are filling out the feedback form, I'll just take a minute to take you through what we have lined up for you on the coming Saturday, which is a session on holistic healing by Dr. Nupur Agrawal. That session is scheduled at 5 p.m. on coming Saturday. So if you have not joined the community already, please join our community so that you get updated, stay updated about all the sessions that we do. And I am also sharing with you the coordinates of Colonel Gautam Guha so that you can stay in connect. We will also share these over an email with you. So if you like, you can take a screenshot or wait for our email, which will come to you early next week and will have the same details. I understand it is a Saturday evening and a lot of you may have commitments. So we'll keep our question answer short. So please keep your questions short. And we will open up the session now for Q&A. Please fill out the feedback form and type FD in the chat once you have filled out the feedback form. Please use the hand button in the reactions so that we know you have a question and we can take your question. And while we are waiting for people to raise their hand, there are some questions which we got in the chat, Colonel Gautam, and there is one from Bhaskar. He asks, when you say diabetes reversal, does that mean if this person does a OGTT, his result will show that he is not diabetic?
Yeah, can I answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm absolutely against OGTT. With due respect again to all the doctors, I have never done a OGTT. Why will I do? Why do I have to get bitten by dogs and snakes to prove that now I'm better? Why will I insert so much of glucose into my body to test my glucose tolerance? I'm sorry, I will never do that. Yes, I gave you my example, personal example. I don't know who asked this question.
This is from Bhaskar.
Yeah, so Bhaskar, I gave you example of yesterday night that I had ice cream. If you go to my Facebook and all that and start seeing from 2000. So 2018 Durga Puja, I'm a Bengali. So 2018 Durga Puja, 4 days I ate all types of sweets. That was my glucose tolerance test. I came back, waited for 2 days because you cannot test immediately. I waited for 2 days. My fasting sugar was less than 80. Since then, I take sweets in occasions. I take carbohydrate, heavy foods like whatever, pasta, for example, or a pizza, maybe a thin pizza once in a while, whenever. And what we must also understand, so if you do my OGTT, it will be normal. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I have done 4 medicals. I have done detailed medicals. You see, the upgradation in the army is not that easy. So before the doctors wanted to evaluate me, that's how I am here with all of you. Why do you think that I became this thing to the civil media, this thing, open-ended? Because they published my article at various places. They sent the newspaper wallahs to do my interview. That is how I reached Hyderabad in a health session. Now, when they were testing me, obviously they did that test, but I refused to give a OGTT. डॉक्टर ने बोला सर आपको ग्लूकोज नहीं पीऊंगा, मेरा किडनी आंख सब कुछ आपके सामने है, जहां पे सुई डालना है, जहां से खून निकालना है, जो टेस्ट करना है करो. So they tested my eye and everything. They of course did my HbA1c and all. So the moment your things are very stable, you see, a doctor knows everything. OGTT क्यों? मतलब why only glucose? Why only HbA1c and why? मतलब you mean to say that kidneys don't have a role in diabetes management? Liver doesn't have a role in diabetes management? So a complete basic profile should be done, metabolic profile. And definitely your basic sugar parameters or a sugar profile is also done. Your estimated average glucose is seen, this thing is seen. But I am not in for this glucose tolerance test. I'd give this example to everyone that suppose I had rabies and I have got injections. Now I have become okay. Do you mean to say that I have to get bitten by dogs again to say that no, I'm better? So that's my take. 1 glass, 2 glass of glucose is not doing any good to your body. Please. Unless and until you are a young 25-30-year-old chap और 25-30 साल के बंदे को तो diabetes होगा भी नहीं, मतलब नहीं होना चाहिए diabetes type 2. So no question of glucose tolerance test. 45-50 diabetic, your condition has improved and you want to do a OGTT. Now, why would you want to orally induce so much of clean glucose? No, it's absolutely harmful for your liver and pancreas. वो ग्लूकोज आपके बॉडी में तो चला गया, उसके बाद तो वो आपके पैनक्रियास पे ही लोड डाल रहा है ना, वो आप ही के किडनी पे लोड डाल रहा है. और that's not required. Yes, you can take your normal better carbohydrates. You can eat a fruit and see where is my glucose. That's what we do in consolidation and stabilization phase. So yes, last year I still remember I had a few mangoes. So yes, after eating mangoes, my sugar levels should not go up. Or for that matter, in my anniversary or on my 50th birthday, I celebrated and I celebrate like anything, and it's all there. मैं तो वीडियो भी बनाता था, शुरू में बंद कर दिया. So you take a sugar reading. and we used to do a lot in our community, in our group, that we used to do tolerance test of various things, but definitely not a glass of glucose. No, I'm not in favor.
Thank you for clarifying that, Colonel Gautam. We have got another question. Will the video recording of this session be shared? Yes, the video recording will be shared in the Mindful Living community group, the link of which we are shared in the chat. So you can click on the link, join the community, where the recording will be shared. And Colonel Gautam is also part of the same community. So if you have any follow-on questions, you can connect with him there in the community and ask him those questions.
Yeah, can I just interfere once again and go back? I've seen Bhaskar's question. Bhaskar Singh Parihar. He says, when you say diabetes reversal, does this mean that a person does a OGTT's result and will show that is non-diabetic? Dekho, Bhaskar, I don't know your age. So with due regards, what I want to say is that diabetes or diabetic or non-diabetic or pre-diabetic or pre-pre-diabetic are all medical terminologies. It is something like, baad aa gaya hai, baad aane wala hai, abhi baad nahi aayega. It's fine. And for that, OGTT is not the only thing. So whether you are a non-diabetic or diabetic, I mean, your HbA1c less than 5.6 is non-diabetic. Your fasting sugar less than 90, along with the HbA1c of less than 5.6, along with stable kidney, liver, lipids, and as I said, less than triglycerides 2 or whatever, 2.5 triglyceride to HDL ratio, with a decent vitamin D and B12 level, are all indicators of insulin sensitivity. OGTT is a very, very basic test where they are only looking at one aspect of glucose management. So that's what I wanted to address. I will just see the Gargi Saket has written previous slide. I don't know which one. So Gargi, you can take the presentation or ask the slide from me. Sir, how do you do this damage assessment? Damage assessment, how do you do? Yeah, I did not. So you do a test and you see the damage. I mean, you have to see that video, which I said, that is video number 7. Which says that take charge of your health. जिसका मैंने आपको एक वो दिखाया था. So you go to that video, you will find that I have mentioned that you need to do your HbA1c, triglyceride to HDL ratio, a fasting insulin, calculate your HOMA-IR. HOMA-IR stands for homeostasis model assessment of insulin resistance. So you are able to calculate your insulin resistance yourself. So these are some basic tests to know that how damaged your diabetic condition is.
Okay. Thank you
for all the positive comments. And one more, Sabyasachi Sen has got a long direct message. I have been T2 diabetic for 10 years, but only on metformin. Good. For past 18 months on intermittent fasting. Very good. And lesser carb. Very nice. HbA1c reduced from 7 to 6.1 and back again to 6.5, which is okay. Metformin down from 2 mg per day to 750 milligram per day. How do we know when we have reversed the diabetes, or is it impossible to reverse due to permanent beta cell damage? 6.1, 6.5, and I don't know what is your fasting sugar now, Sabyasachi. With a 10-year history, how have you managed your diabetic condition for 10 years? If it has been very, very bad, then your beta cells will get affected. Otherwise, no. You can do a beta cell functionality test just now and get to know. Otherwise, the moment you can contact me personally on this. This information, definitely you don't have beta cell damage. Apparently, what I can make out. 7 to 6.1 to 6.5 is all glycation of your hemoglobin, which is fluctuating. 6.5 means that your average was not good. When it was 6.51, the average was better. In any case, 6.1 or 6.5 is not an indicator of reversal of diabetes. That's what I'm saying. People are reducing HbA1c from 9 to 6.4 and saying we have reversed your diabetes. पैसे दो, thank you, bye bye. उसके बाद वो मेरे को कांटेक्ट करते हैं, मैं बोलता हूं उनसे बात तो करो. फिर वो उनसे बात करते हैं. बात करने के बाद वो क्या बोलते हैं? That you have been a bad student. So initially you were fine. Now it has from 6.4, it has again gone to 7.5 because you have not taken care of yourself. Obviously, he's also correct and you are also lost and everybody is lost in this world. Arey bhaiya, that's why this presentation that I gave you through and through. So you will have to understand that 6.1 is firstly no reversal of diabetes. You have to be 5.6 and below. 5.6 and below. But that itself is not reversal of diabetes. A 5.6 HbA1c only means that your average of last 10 to 12 weeks was very, very nice. Your glucose control was very good. But has that translated into other things? जो गाड़ी रिपेयर की मैंने बात की, अगर सब कुछ अच्छा है, then yes, you are this thing. And then आपका OTT हो या glucose tolerance test हो या जो भी हो, everything you will pass. So I don't think beta cell damage, but please restart your application. Intermittent fasting के बारे में I just spoke, so for past 18 months on intermittent fasting, again very generic thing. Your application can improve every passing day. which means that your diet plate can improve. Your fasting can improve. Fasting improvement is not 18 say 19 and 19 say 20 and 20 say OMAD, 1 meal a day. That is not improvement in fasting. Fasting is how clean and how better you can fast. If I am doing a 14-10 or a 16-8 fasting protocol, और मैं 16 घंटे खाना नहीं खा रहा हूं, क्या वो मैं जबरदस्ती नहीं खा रहा हूं, या मैं is my energy level good, very good, or excellent? And if it has become excellent, then I'm excellent at 16 hours of fasting, and now I can graduate to 17 hours. So intermittent fasting also has to be understood better, and you can improve the intensity of that. You have not mentioned anywhere about your workouts. I'm sure you must have worked out to get your HbA1c reduced, and you'll have to do that. There's no shortcut. Your lifestyle application has to be complete, and you also must look at issues like sleep, etc., and managing your vitamin D levels. Please get your vitamin D levels checked, and then you do a fair assessment of your diabetic condition. That was for Sabyasachi. Any additional consideration for people who are thin, which is called thin outside, fat inside? Yes. Satish, if you are a thin diabetic, I told you it's a matter of concern, because all that sugar is inside damaging your body, and it is not getting converted into subcutaneous fat. It is all getting into visceral fat, or it's making your pancreas fatty or making your liver fatty. So you have to reverse that condition. Any additional considerations for people? Considerations are same. मैंने तो कहीं पे weight की बात ही नहीं की. I've not spoken about climbing on a weighing scale to reverse diabetes at all in my entire presentation. So the considerations are same. Yes, your liver, your kidney, all your gadi ka purja has to work correctly. Satish, that was for you. So please consider not only looking at your fasting glucose and HbA1c, but also at other factors. You cannot be thin diabetic with a high uric acid. If it is, you have to address that. Thank you everyone who have inspired me by writing things like awesome and all. Thank you. Any other important question?
There is one from Anjana Colonel Gautam. She's asking, does a constant monitoring
oh yes, thank you. Thank you, Anjana. Thank you. I don't know, Anjana, whether you have I can see on the screen also, Anjana. So do you have a patch? Are you diabetic? I don't know.
No, I don't have a patch, but okay. Luckily I haven't reached the stage. My HbA1c is still 5.4, but my mother is a diabetic.
Yeah.
For the last 20 years, I've lost my dad to diabetes and kidney failure.
Yeah.
So we were debating the fact of whether we should get her a patch, because she's very paranoid of needles, though she's on insulin.
She's on insulin?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, so she just doesn't do her test because she doesn't like pricking herself. So she says one is bad enough.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Shall I take it on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will give, this is something which is very common, which I have addressed many times, and I'll give a lot of random thoughts. Please don't take it either way,
Yeah.
As you yourself said, mindful living is all about frank and take whatever you want. So, Anjana, now let me come to one aspect. As I said, I was telling Ashish, I have got auto rickshaw drivers and thela walas in my health. I have got Banaras ka Pandit ji who does not know ABC of English, and there are people who cannot converse with. I have got people who have got swimming pool in their home. Why I'm saying this is that and let me give another example. Sushma Swaraj.
Yeah.
Minister. I mean, what is that she could not have got? And of course, Arun Jaitley. Renal failure, this and that. Ultimately, it's all sugar related. It started with diabetes. You mentioned about your dad, may his soul rest in peace. I started my reversal journey because I saw my dad, who was also a Fauji, putting insulin into his stomach, and I could not just stand that side. That a person who taught me how to run, how to climb a rope, that person is putting injection into his body. So it just shook me up. And so now coming to your point, there are people who have got patches in their hands, their arms, or wherever in the body, because they have been advised, number one. Number two, they can afford. There are people who cannot afford anything beyond metformin. एक पत्ती 35 रुपए की आती है मेटफॉर्मिन, महीने का वो 70 रुपए पैसे खर्च कर सकता है, उससे ज्यादा पैसे खर्च नहीं कर सकता वो डायबिटीज. He cannot afford even a glimepiride and a sitagliptin, forget other costly things. So Such people also, were contacting me, and I told them that unfortunately, I cannot do anything for that. But one thing is very clear, that when it comes to application, the body is fair. God has been fair to everyone. Whether you apply a patch or not a patch, because patch is just a monitoring machine. Whether you can afford an almond or a broccoli, or you cannot afford an almond and broccoli, food is there that you can eat to reverse diabetes. And that must be taken and carried home by each and every listener who's listening to me right now. Now, coming to your question proper. So my first point, Anjana, is that people who are aged, people who are, as I said, that in my group, I have got people who are very elderly to me. I gave example of 67. In fact, the eldest one is a lady who is 72 or 73 years old, but she's not reversing diabetes and she is managing diabetes better. Yeah. A person in my group who has reversed a condition and in a stabilization phase is 67 now. She was 65 2 years back. Bulk of them are in their 60s, early 60s, late 50s, 50s, 45, and like that. Coming back to your mother, I mean, I can just guess her age. And at that age, what happens is that, number one, the monitoring of glucose levels is not there. So she will not get up every morning and take a glucometer to prick her finger and see a capillary blood sugar level. So you can do that only sometimes. So what does this particular patch does? That it keeps telling you as to how is the sugar level. I've got no problem in that. Though I tell everybody that don't become a slave to all these machines and gadgets. I give example of a mobile phone. I'm also wearing a smartwatch, and I also have a mobile with all applications which is smart, which is fine. But we have to draw that line. If you are able to draw that line with your mother's patch, that she will not, that the patch will not dictate her life, then it is fine. Because I have seen diabetics who live their life based on that patch report. My sugar just now went high, so I am now going for a walk. Understand? Because my sugar went high, so I am going for a walk. और उनको ये भी नहीं पता कि वॉकिंग से भी शुगर बढ़ता है, because your body undergoes stress. आप जिम में जाके डंबल उठाओगे तो आपका शुगर बढ़ेगा, फिर कम होगा. अगर आपको अचानक से झटका लगेगा, शॉक लगेगा, कैसा भी शॉक, mental shock, physical shock, your sugar level will go up. That is the natural process. Your blood pressure will go up. So now when you are wearing a patch, the problem is that people, they react to the patch more than living their life. So that I will advise, that should not be the case. It should not be that the patch dictates, because you cannot be eating based on the patch. What you should be doing is that, more importantly, use this particular science and use this tool to your advantage. Now, how you do it, you'll have to find a way out. And what do I mean by that? I mean by that is that put your mother into a healthy routine. That like for example, so let me give example of my father who's that. And my father is 82 plus. I just told him 3 years back, because 5 years back, he did not believe me. And it's only, when I went to Hyderabad and people called me for a talk, he realized that probably my son knows a bit and he talks some sense. Because for him, the ECHS doctor was much, much more important, who would just increase or decrease his insulin units based on just one report. Sir, आप 3 महीने बाद आना, अरे सर आपका तो HbA1c बढ़ गया, सर 4 यूनिट इंसुलिन बढ़ा दो, 6 यूनिट बढ़ा दो. So it was not being managed. And so example of my father, why I want to give is that I told him that, Dad, all you need to do is that do a 12-hour fast. आप रात को 9 बजे खाते हो, आप सुबह 9 बजे खाते हो. आप रात को 8 बजे खाते हो, आज कल सुबह 8 बजे खाते हो. Now, whether he's able to do 12 or not, but he consciously knows that this is what my son has told me, so I have to do this. Now, this is something that I am not looking at him reading very, very consciously what his body is saying, because he's 83, he's 80 plus. So your mother also must do something. I'm not saying 12 hours. I'm saying she must know that she is not supposed to eat very, very frequently. She must know that the digestion or the process of digestion is a very, very complicated process. It starts from secretion of saliva till the excretion, or rather till the absorption of nutrients. And till the time your mother realizes that, okay, fine, I should enhance my digestive powers and process of digestion by also not eating very frequently and letting my brain focus on the food that I have ingested, she will be good. The moment she knows that I am supposed to go for, depends again, how is she physically. So suppose you tell her that, Ma, you need to go for a 2-kilometer walk in the morning and 1 kilometer, or don't even tell kilometer. आपने इस पार्क के 4 चक्कर लगाने और शाम को भी आपने 3 चक्कर लगाने. और अगर आप शाम को नहीं लगा पाओगे, आप रात के खाने के बाद आप फिर भी 2 चक्कर लगाओ. Now you are putting her into a routine and you are not telling her, कि Ma, you will go for a walk in the park chakkar because your sugar level has gone to 195. Because, why I'm saying this? Because there are so many factors that control your sugars. She may just have a fight with your father is no more. She may just have a fight with you on a phone. And that may upset her body and the sugar levels may go up. She may be very happy because she saw a very good dream in her. She had a nice dream. She slept very well. She took a bath very well. Nahaya bahut acha. We don't take a similar bath every day. Some days we are in a hurry, some days we are not. Kabhi garam pani, kabhi thanda pani. And you think that putting water in your body doesn't affect your sugar levels? Oh, you ask me and you ask my wife, who is probably listening in the other room. I take a ice water bath every morning. I've got no diabetes, but I'm just reading about all these things. How it affects your, affects your body temperature and how it regulates. What I'm saying is that a thing like a good day, a bad day, an active day, an inactive day, a mentally happy day, mentally not a happy day, excitement, not excitement, all affects your sugar levels. So let's not get bounded by just a fluctuation in sugar level. She should know that these are the things I should avoid eating and these are the things I must eat. If she cannot eat without a roti, it is better that she takes a decent roti than a wheat roti. She avoids gluten. She should not take atta ka roti. So she should take, say for example, a missi roti. A missi roti is at least better than atta ka roti. आपने उसमें बेसन मिक्स किया. अगर आप उससे अच्छा उनको अमरनाथ का आटा दे सकते हो या कुट्टू का आटा दे सकते हो, आप वो दो. अगर आप उसको छोड़ के कोई और आटा दे सकते हो जिसके अंदर कार्बोहाइड्रेट है, शुगर लेवल और कम है, तो उनका शुगर लेवल और ड्रॉप करेगा. उनका शुगर लेवल और ड्रॉप करेगा, उनका एनर्जी लेवल बढ़ेगा. I mean, hypothetically. And the moment her energy level goes up, she will walk better. She will sleep better because she has walked better. और नींद अच्छी आ रही. So everything is a cycle. But yes, patch at that age, I will not say that take it out. I've got no problem in that. But my only and only request is that please don't let her live a life. I don't know if Karandi is listening to me or not. There is a lady who from Chicago was supposed to join. She's in US. She's got a patch and I fight with her and I've told her so many times that please stop. And she doesn't do that now. So yes, what she does, she shares her average of a week once. That's it. So the patch will tell you the average of a day, average of a week, average of a month. Give your mother should get a kick. You understand kick, no? That high.
Yeah.
Your mother should, average is good. Your mother should get that high. कि बेटा देख अंजना, पिछले हफ्ते ना मेरा एवरेज का ग्राफ ऐसे था, इस बार इसके स्पाइक्स कम हो गए, अब मेरा शुगर लेवल ज्यादा बैलेंस हो गया. That should give her a kick. These machines are so good, they will tell you that will factor in your sleep also, because the patch is 24/7. So I'm not saying these are bad, but it is a problem when you are living on them. You are supposed to have a good sleep. What is there to discuss in that? So the moment she starts having a good sleep, the patch will show a decent result and her this thing will stabilize. In fact, people who are hypertensive, जिनको hypertension है और जो सुन रहे हैं, उनको भी मैं ये बोलूंगा कि सिर्फ बीपी के मॉनिटरिंग पे मत रहिए आप. Please go to a good lab or a good doctor and tell them to put an ambulatory BP machine on your body. Put a BP machine for 24/7 and analyze your BP correctly. BP is also like sugar. It fluctuates to so many things in our life. These are all indicators of our body. Chronic BP is something different. But अचानक से BP shoot हो गया. अरे कुछ हुआ होगा आपके लाइफ में. आपको किसी बात की टेंशन हुई होगी, BP बढ़ गया. But that doesn't mean that you become hypertensive. So use these machines, use these tools to your correct advantage. So my advice, Anjana, in the end is that let it remain. Don't let her see that and then live her life. Tell her that mama, इसका हम लोग हफ्ते शुरू में हम 3 दिन में एक बार निकालेंगे, इसका रीडिंग लेंगे. हफ्ते में एक बार लेंगे, इसका रीडिंग लेंगे. महीने में एक बार तो पक्का लेंगे, and we'll see. It will tell you much beyond HbA1c. It will tell you that your mama does not have a good sleep. It will tell you that your mama does not have a good sleep from in the early part, from 8 o'clock from 10 o'clock in the night to say 3 o'clock, but she sleeps like a baby from 3 in the morning to 6 in the morning. And the time when she should be sleeping more, she has put an alarm because she has to get up and give khana to the chidiya, or फूल तोड़ना है, या मंदिर के घंटी को जाके बजाना है, तो मैंने 6 बजे का अलार्म लगाया. And we don't realize that. And those things must, so these tools must be used to your advantage. So please keep the patch, but analyze the patch well.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjana, for that question, and thank you, Colonel Gautam, for such a detailed and wise guidance on that point. I understand that this discussion can go on because it's a passion for Colonel Gautam Guha, and it's a challenge which many people face. But I understand we are already 35 minutes beyond the scheduled finish time, and this is Saturday evening, and you may have your commitments. So with the permission of everybody, I would like to draw this session to a close. Please stay tuned to the email that we will be sending out early next week, which will have the link to the recording of this session, and it will also have the coordinates of Colonel Gautam Guha, so that you can stay in touch with him and join the Mindful Living community, which Colonel Gautam Guha is also a part of, so that you can stay in touch with him. Keep asking him all your questions. So on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Colonel Gautam, for such a wonderful session. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend ahead.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you to this platform. This is the second time I have joined. I'm sure I will come more, and I will like to interact on various facets of health. I just see 2-3 important questions. I will request Arvind Yadav, who's asking that his wife is losing weight. So we have to analyze weight a little better, Arvind. She's on taking 24 units at night and 15 units in the morning. That is 39 units. So my first advice, Arvind, is that get this 39 to 37 and 37 to 32 and 32 to 24. Her weight will stop dropping. If that weight is, body fat, we need to look into the complete comprehensive thing. So please, contact me. We will speak in detail. It will take time. Naveen Yadav, Naveen, just contact me. You asked replacing rice, wheat, atta with jowar flour. Millets are better. We are celebrating the millet. So millet has become the in thing, but millet is high in carbohydrates. Millet will not get your sugar levels down. I know of Dr. Khader Ali, who calls himself the millet man. Millet has been in our villages or in our culture for ages. But millet, I'm again repeating, has got very high carbohydrates. It will not get your sugar levels down. Millet is definitely a better option than atta. But what you should replace in a reversal journey for your wife or your sister, please go to my YouTube channel. I've got a video on that. Just contact me. I will explain you better. And thank you everyone who are still there. And thank you, Ashish, once again. I will exit now. And bye-bye to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Stay in touch. Keep the conversation going.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Gautam sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravi sir. And thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You may unmute yourself and say bye to everybody. Make some noise on your way out.
Thank you, Gautam.
Thank you, Gautam sir. It was a very wonderful session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We all must reverse diabetes. Let us make a better community. Let us not live on medicines. That's my only request.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gautam.
6. Yeah.